evening, everyone. My name is Samantha Plowman. Today, I aim to persuade you to reconsider the role of social media in your life and potentially eliminate it altogether. We often praise social media for its connectivity and information sharing, but what if its negative effects on mental health outweigh its positives? Let's explore why we should write off social media platforms from our lives. I have 3 main points I would like to share with you, and they cover the addictive nature of social media, the detrimental impact of social media on mental health, and we will counter-argue the cons that outweigh the pros. Now that you have a good idea of what we will be discussing, let's start with my first main point, the addictive nature of social media. Firstly, the addictive nature of social media is undeniable. It's not merely a platform, it's a carefully designed system engineered to keep us hooked. These platforms are meticulously designed with algorithms that exploit psychological triggers. Statistical data reveals its undeniable grip. The average person spends around 2.5 hours daily on social platforms, and 98% of users feel compelled to check these applications at least once every single day. The psychological mechanisms behind social media addiction, coupled with the statistics showcasing our excessive screen time, reveal how deeply ingrained these platforms are in our daily lives. The dopamine loop, feeling our need for validation through likes and shares, had led to cases of social media addiction, resulting in an adverse mental health outcome. Now that you have learned the ways in which social media platforms are designed to keep you coming back rather than have your best interest, let's move on to my next main point. Secondly, let's dive into the detrimental impact of social media on mental health. Studies consistently link excessive social media use to increased rates of anxiety, depression, and a culture of comparison that breeds low self-esteem and body image issues. A survey by the Royal Society for Public Health in the UK found that Instagram in particular had the most negative effect on young people's mental health, with issues like body image anxiety being worsened. And moreover, these platforms often foster feelings of isolation and loneliness rather than genuine connections. Now that you have learned how social media negatively affects mental health, let's move on to my next main point, the counter-argue to the pros of social media. Now, while some will argue that social media is beneficial for society, let's consider the broader picture. Yes, it facilitates connectivity and information, but at what cost? Ethical conditions regarding data privacy breaches and misinformation proliferation cannot be overlooked. While playing a game or using an app on your phone may seem like innocent fun, companies are retrieving your personal data and they are making money by selling your information to other malicious companies. Additionally, social media's unregulated nature poses significant challenge, Additionally, social media's unregulated nature poses significant challenges such as cyberbullying and mental health issues. The spread of fake news and echo chambers created by algorithmic bias can polarize societies, leading to increased division and a lack of critical thinking among users. These platforms serve as tools for communication, allowing people worldwide to connect, share experiences, and build communities regardless of geographical boundaries. For instance, during crises and natural disaster, social media has proven instrumental in organizing relief efforts and spreading critical information to affected populations swiftly. However, we don't always know where our donated money is really going. This comes back to the idolized online persona. There's a disconnect between digital and real-life identities. So what have we discussed this evening? Hopefully you understand that the large companies behind social media platforms have curated these apps in a way that you can't stay away for too long. Knowing that these apps are created to keep you coming back, we have also learned just how devastating social media is on our mental health. Thirdly, we have rebutted any argument that social media is a great advancement in society, when in reality it's just the opposite. In conclusion, we've explored the addictive nature of social media, its detrimental impact on mental health, and acknowledged that despite some of the benefits, the consequences outweigh the positives. Awareness is the first step towards positive change. Acknowledging these profound negative impacts prompts us to reassess our usage patterns and advocate for a life without social media. Therefore, I urge you to reconsider removing yourself from social media and focus on what we can control. Let's prioritize our mental health and genuine connections, steering away from the pitfalls of social media. Thank you. This concludes my presentation.